afternoon, everyone. Now we can begin with the in perkuliahan perkembangan studi dik ya. This meeting we can discuss about the topic reward and punishment and how to implementation the reward and punishment in this class ya. The lecture today same as previous meeting ya. One group in this class can presentation the material and the other group can give the feedback or question for the group presentation. Maybe before we start the class, Miss Nietzsche can say menyampaikan sesuatu, mungkin saya persilakan.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Labe. So today's topic is about reward and punishment, and about reward and punishment is very related with the behavior modification. So why all of you need to learn about behavior modification? Because behavior modification is very useful to practice it in the school or in the class. Yeah. Because after this you will be a teacher, and when the teacher need to change the behavior from the student, or maybe have the target behavior target for the student, especially for the student who have some problem regarding the learning activity or something behavior that very related with the achievement. So sorry, my son joined this meeting. Okay, dinosaurs. Okay, wait a moment. This is dinosaur. Okay, so because of that, you all need to learn about how to prepare the reward or hadiah and punishment or hukuman, or something that make the student feel not good to do their behavior, like difficult behavior or something behavior that doesn't fit with the school or with the class activity. So you will learn about the behavior target, and after that how to maintain this behavior to always come from the student. So that's why you all need to learn about the reward and punishment. That's all my introduction, and maybe you will learn more detail from the another presentation from your friends. Thank you very much, Mr. Labe.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Okay, now who can presentation? Okay, you can raise hand. Oke, Sri Wida. Oke. Ya benar ya, kamu yang angkat tangan ya, atau kamu tanpa sengaja ya? Oke. Ya, silakan Sri Wida.
Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Permission to share my screen. Well, good afternoon, Ms. Nietzsche and Mr. Labe.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, dear all of my friends. Thank you for the opportunity that given to us. Well, for today, our material presentation is about reward and punishment. But before we start our presentation, let us introduce ourselves first. My name is Nilo Sri Widawati. For the first speaker, and then for the second speaker, there is.
My name is Nikadek Gina Puspitasari.
And for the third speaker, there is.
My name is Niputu Yuliani.
And for the last speaker is.
My name is Nikadek Piasi Sarasdewi.
Well, we will start the presentation. Some philosophical views or views of life and beliefs assume that life has actually become a form of punishment, and assume that if detachment from living in the world as the highest form of reward on the basic concept of deep learning educational psychology. For this reason, reward and punishment are forms that educators action to react for what have been done by the student. Punishment is imposed for action that bad or evil, while the reward is given for good things that have been done, so that both remain is tool for educating. So, what is this topic about? For this presentation, we will discuss about four topic. For the first is reward definition, and then requirement and form of rewards, and then punishment definition and form and example of punishment. For the first is reward definition. The term reward is taken from English, which means wage, prizes, and punishment. With this, rewards in English can be used for replace that have a positive or negative nature. Reward is giving something to someone else as gift form of appreciation for souvenir or other, which is one of the method educational psychology. Rewards given to other can take many forms depending on the giver of the reward, or can also be adjusted to the achievement that have been obtained by somebody. And then number 2 is requirements and forms of rewards. Requirements of rewards, there are several things that must be met so that rewards can be used as effective educational tools, and some of them are, for the first is educator must know well the characteristic of student and also understand how to appreciate well so that can be effective way of learning according to the psychology can work very well. Second is rewards given to someone should not cause the envy of other students who feel if the work they have done is as good or even better, but they did not get the reward. The third is in giving rewards, we should be frugal and not too often. Because when it is too often giving a reward, these rewards will not make an educational tool. The fourth is do not give rewards first or promise before students finish their assignment, because this can make students rush when doing assignment and will give difficulties to children or students who are not very smart. And for the last requirements is educators must pay attention when giving rewards, because students should not have a misperception about the reward concept. Well, that's all from me for the first material, and then the next material will be presented by the second speaker. Dina, the time is yours.
Thanks for the time that given to me. Next slide. Next, I will explain about forms of reward. Reward can be given in the form of objects or items that they like for various kinds of learning methods, while providing benefits for students to learn, or can given in the form of attitudes or action of teacher that can be used as reward for students. Besides that, in practice, the teacher can give rewards in two forms, namely verbal and non-verbal. Forms of verbal rewards can be given to the achievement of students with a spontaneous action in the form of praise. Verbal rewards are expressed in words that make students feel satisfied and happy, such as, wow, you are great, smart child, the answer is right, great, and others. Non-verbal. The form of non-verbal appreciation can be with symbol or movements of the educator limbs when seeing student behavior, like clapping hands, patting student's shoulder, showing thumbs, and others. Non-verbal rewards given by teacher can also be a motivational writing on student worksheet and the provision of valuable objects such as medal necklaces, star pins, and others. The teacher gives present or prize. Sometimes teacher needs to give reward to the whole class. Rewards can also be given with benefits and fun. Next slide. Next, I will explain about aims of giving rewards. There are several purposes of giving rewards, such as first, encourage student attention when teaching. Second, streamlining or facilitating the process of teaching and learning activities. Third, maintaining and generating student learning motivation. Fourth, develop and self-regulate in learning. 5, controlling or change student attitudes that are not good and creating productive learning behavior. And last, directing students to good or divergent way of thinking and personal initiative. Based on description, it can be concluded that the purpose of giving rewards to students in general is to encourage their learning motivation, maintain positive behavior, and make themselves more productive. The purpose of this reward will be as safe and effective if the rewards is given with the right principle. That's all about my material in presentation. The time will be back to the moderator.
Thank you, Gina, for your presentation. The next material will be present with the third speaker, and lead times is yours.
Okay, thank you, Vida, for the time given to me. Next, I want to explain about. Next slide, please. Okay, next, I want to explain about punishment definition. Punishment definition, like a reward, punishment is also an educational tool and is one of kind of learning method. Punishment is a suffering given of or caused intentionally by educator after student make mistake or violation. With this, punishment can also be used as a preventive or repressive effort. Punishment is also often termed aversive stimulus. Skinner initially agreed with Thorndike if the punishment effect is the same as the reward. But in the next experiment, Estes did, one of the students then made student view change. Preventive punishment give with the aim that a violation not or will not occur. Repressive punishment give because of a violation that already done. For this reason, punishment is carried out after a violation or mistake happens. Next slide. Okay, next, from an example of punishment. There are 3 forms of punishment. Number 1, associative, number 2, logic, and number 3, normative. Associative punishment, a child usually associates punishment and crime or violation between suffering caused by punishment with violation that have been done in order to get rid of the bad feeling or the law. Then generally, a child will stay away from actions that are not good or that have been prohibited. Punishment this type can be applied to early childhood who can only feel and also associate something as a variety of learning styles. Number 2, logic punishment. This punishment is used for older children. With this punishment, then a children can understand that punishment is a logical consequence of bad deeds. A child will understand if he gets the punishment because of a mistake he made, it's already done. For example, a child is instructed to erase the blackboard until clean because it has soil or crumbs of the blackboard. Okay, thank you. With that, that's all my presentation. I give back the time to moderator.
Thank you, Yuli, for your presentation. Next, we will continue to the last speaker, Fiosi. Time is yours.
For your time, I will continue presentation of normative punishment. Next slide, Mbak. Normative punishment. Normative punishment is a punishment that aims to improve moral and and also memory development in children. This punishment was carried out on violation of ethical, moral, shock and lying, creating or stealing, as well as discipline. For this reason, punishment is closely related to the formation of children, character and personality. With the punishment, educator will try and influence the child conscious, converting children of wrongdoing that has been done will strengthening theirs to always be able to do good and avoid evil. Next slide. Example of punishment. Example of educational punishment. There are several examples that can be educational, such as moving the floor, sweeping, sewing unpleasant faces, and giving the child a quiet. This is expected and encourage children to realize what they did wrong, and parents must always accompany the children when the sentence run and finish. Example of educated punishment. Examples are screaming, kicking, sleeping, and other physical punishment that only have a traumatic effect on the child. We can call in torture. Children will be insecurely afraid of their parents, not perfect or love. Of course, it is not something we expect from the punishment given to children. Okay, that's all my presentation. I give the time back to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Pioshi, for your presentation. So for the next is the conclusion. We can conclude that rewards can be used as a reinforcement for students so that they can always do positive activities in learning, while punishment can get used to make children not to do acts of hurting others, like when they reciting punishment that hurts themselves. Well, I think that's all about our presentation. Thank you for your attention. And do you have?
Okay, before we start with the discussion, I need to revise some of the spelling for the someone name, yeah. Skinner, not Skinner, yeah, Skinner. That's one of the psychologists who would develop the theory about the behavior modification. And another that is a Thorndike, yeah. I already typed on the chat box how to write down his name. He is a psychologist too who are developed the behavior modification theory. And maybe you need to learn more about some of the psychologists who have the research regarding the educational psychology. So you will learn about more theory regarding the behavior modification. Thank you. So Vida and the team, thank you very much for the presentation. And now you can put or choose some of your friends who are already raised their hand, yeah? Is very actively raise the hand, and after that we can discuss. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss, for your suggestion and also for your fixing spelling. And before I choose my friends, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
How many friends should I choose for the question?
Okay, for the first session, maybe just 2, and after that, the second session, another 2 person. Okay.
Thank you, Miss. According to my screen, the first who has raised her hand is Nikade Era Damayanti and also Desa Ayu Madirian Anggita. For the first person is Era. Times is yours.
Thank you, Ida, for the time that given to me. So my question is, when there's a child who doesn't want to do something, if they are not given a reward, in another words, they are addicted to reward. So how to solve this problem? Thank you.
Or maybe just for the previous station, the person who have the question need to type the question to the chat box. Maybe some of your friend doesn't clearly understand about your question, so can read it in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you, Era, for the question. And as Miss Nietzsche says, you can type your question in the chat box. And for the next is Desa. Times is yours.
Okay, my question, normative punishment is a punishment that aims to improve the moral of child and also the development of memory in children. This punishment is carried out for violation of ethical norms such as lying, cheating, or stealing, and also discipline. And my question is, how do we give punishment if we already know the child has committed theft or lied, but the child does not want to admit it?
Thank you, Desa, for your question. Maybe Miss Nisha, could you give us some times to discuss, and maybe we can continue to the next group for the next presentation.
Okay, thank you. So who are be the team? We will be the presenter for the next session before we get the answer from the first group. Maybe Mr. Labu, we just have 2 group today for the presenting their material, right?
Sorry, we can break the group, Nis?
Yeah. We can break the group so the student will discuss directly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Siapa ya hostnya? Putri, bisa dibantu saya jadikan host? Oke, ini sepertinya Putri sedang ada. Oke, coba. Oh. Astri Antari. Bisa dijadikan saya host ya?
Sudah ke Putri, Bapak.
Udah ke Putri. Ini main pingpong hostnya nih.
I'm sorry, sir. I lost my connection.
Oke. Bisa saya jadikan host ya? Okay, so open the room for discuss. You can choose the room for discuss to siapa ya dia? Mira ya. Vida, silakan ya.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Okay, while the first group will have a discussion about the question from their friends, so we will move to the next presenter. Who will be the next presenter? Please raise your hand first. Okay, is it Juwita and Madedian is the same group or not? Different, right?
Never.
Okay. So is it Juwita or Dian already present on the previous session?
Not yet, Miss.
Juwita, not yet. How about Madedian, Desa Ayu Madedian?
Not yet, Miss.
Okay, so maybe Mr. Labo can choose which one will be the presenter because they didn't get the
Okay.
opportunity to present yet.
Maybe maybe for the second presentation, Juwita ya. Maybe Desa next meeting you can present the material. Oke ya. Nah, apa Dewi? Saya ke Juwita dulu ya, Desa.
Okay.
Oke, silakan Juwita.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the time given to me. So we must. Can you share screen?
Yes. Permission to share my screen, sir, Miss.
So you already as a host or co-host here? Oh, okay. It's okay. So you can share your screen.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. So I am from Group E. Will be start the presentation. So before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Putri Juwita Cahyanti, and my member group is Imade Punyadharmika, Putu Ananda Febri Maharani, Nimade Wimas Damayanti, and Kadek Tasya Wiryantini. Okay, the first material will be presented by Tasya. For Tasya, time is yours.
Okay, thanks for your time. So I will start the presentation of the first material, namely the definition of reward. The term reward is taken from English, which means rewards, which prize, reward, and punishment. With this reward in English can be used from good replies, have a positive or negative nature. Reward is giving something to someone else as a reward, a form of application from souvenir or mementos, which is one of the methods. Educationally, psychology. Reward is also one of the strategy used in development, learning in creating a pleasant atmosphere through a period of love, care, and efficacious reward of reward is one of the strategic steps that is embraced. Okay, next materi, continue with friends.
Okay, I will continue the next material, expert opinion. The first is Nalim Purwanto, 2002, states that the purpose of the reward is a tool to educate students to feel happy because of what is being rewarded. The second is Sudomo Hadi, 2005, also defines reward as an application, deed, or item given to students after they have success in carrying out positive and special activity. Reward or awards that are given to students can increase self-confidence, grow motivation to learn, and develop themselves practically. Appreciate the act of appreciating or appreciate. Rewards can also be referred to as emblems, which are like to gifts, so it can be said that rewards are educational tools in the form of awards or fun things given to students for having achieved something or doing positive activity. Gifts can be given as a form of appreciation to increase the spirit of doing good.
Okay, the next material will be presented by Dharmika. For Dharmika, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time. Now I will explain about shape of rewards. Rewards can be given in the form of object or items that you like for various reasons of learning methods, as well as providing benefits for students to learn or be able to given in the form of a attitude or action in the form of a reward practice. Teacher can give rewards into forms, namely verbal and non-verbal. Verbal form of verbal rewards can be given to the achievement of student with a spontaneous action in the form of praise. Verbal rewards are expressed in words that make students feel satisfied and happy, such as "Wow, you are great," "Smart child," "Smart child," "The answer is right," "Great," and others. Non-verbal. The form of non-verbal appreciation can be with symbol or movements of the educator's limb when seeing student behavior. For example, clapping hands, patting students' shoulders, showing thumbs or thumbs, and others. Non-verbal reward given by teacher can also be in the form of motivational rating on student worksheet and the provision of valuable objects such as medal, necklace, star pins, and other. There are also special awards given as an improvisation of awards, such as providing opportunities for students to do other things if they success in achieving something first. The teacher gives pleasant words or prizes. Rewards aimed at the world class are sometimes required. Rewards can also be given with benefit and fun. Example of reward for outstanding student, including ranks and other symbol, awards, rewards in the form of activities, keep in the form of object, delivering value, and congratulations. Okay.
Okay, the next material will be presented by me. Can you next? Okay, definition of punishment. Punishment is suffering that is given or caused intentionally by educator after student make mistake or violations. With this, punishment can also be used as a preventive or repressive effort. Argument about punishment are not effective in directing the formation of behavior desired for several reasons. Namely, one, punishment has an unfavorable emotional effect because of the child's power shifted to other behaviors. Two, punishment can indeed tell unwanted behavior, but also does not explain which behavior desired or must be done. Punishment familiarizes children with action that can hurt others, like when he received a punishment that hurt the child. 4. In condition where it is ensured that there is no punishing again, the child remains do the deed. 5. Punishment can cause aggression in the punishing again as well as others. 6. Punishment replace one undesirable behavior with another, which is also undesirable. Okay, next slide. Okay, there are several opinions regarding punishment or punishment, which is divided into two. A, punishment given with the aim of not until a violation occurs. B, repressive punishment given because a violation or sin that has been committed. For this reason, punishment is carried out after a violation or error occurs. Next slide. Okay, the material, types, and forms of punishment will be present by Nanda. For Nanda, time is yours.
Okay, here I will explain about type and form of punishment. According to Tafsir 2004, based on the level of child development, punishment is divided into several forms, namely 1. Associative punishment. Generally, people associate punishment and crime or violation between suffering caused by punishment and the violation committed to get rid of the bad feeling or law. Usually, people of children stay away from bad or prohibit action. 2. Logical punishment. Punishment is used against children who have grown a bit. With this punishment, the child understands that punishment is a logical consequence of his bad work or action. 3. Normative punishment. Normative punishment is punishment that intends to improve the moral of children. This punishment is carried out for violation of ethical norms, such as lying, cheating, and stealing. So, normative punishment is closely related to the formation of children's character. With this relationship, educators try to influence the child's conscience, convict the child of his wrong action, and strengthen his will to always do good and avoid evil. Next slide. In addition, there are several conditions that must be met before giving a punishment or punishment to someone, which are as follows. 1. Choose first, then punishment. The best method that should be prioritized is to give choice to the child. Giving choice to children means not cornering them with their mistake, but on the contrary, we give an acknowledgement that we believe they did not intend to make the mistake. They just made a mistake or were influenced by outsider. 2. Punishment is based on behavior as well as giving gift that must be based on behavior. So thus punishment must start from an assessment of the child behavior, not the perpetrator. Every child and even adult will never want to be labeled ugly, even if they make a mistake. 3. Punish without emotion. The mistake that parents and educators make most often is when they punish a child accompanied by angry emotion. It is even the emotion of anger that causes the desire to punish. In this condition, the real purpose of giving punishment, which one of awareness so that children will no longer make mistake, become effective. For the punishment has been agreed. It is a taboo to give punishment to a child when the child does not think he will receive a punishment and he is not ready. Dialogue roles and punishment with children has a very big meaning for the child. In addition to being ready to accept punishment when violating it, it is also a lesson to respect others because they are respected by their parents. Okay, I think it's all.
Okay, thank you for the second group. So you can open the discussion for the two person or two participant, and after that you can join the breakout room, and the first group will be answer the question from the previous participant, please.
Okay, for the questioner 1, I choose Niluh Gede Putri Maharani.
Okay, thank you for the time. I want to ask, what do you think about effective or not in front of the class, holding one ears while lifting one leg? Because there are some events where it is considered a joke and they consider is logging stock. So the same mistake tend to be repeat again because there is no effect that makes them feel afraid to repeat it. Okay, maybe that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Putri, for the question. And the next, I choose Nikomang Desi Pratiwi.
Okay, thank you for the time given to me. I want to ask, in your opinion, what kind of punishment can be given to children or even by supaya anaknya itu tidak menjadi pembangkang gitu, so that children are not traumatized, tidak menjadi trauma by the person who give them punishment. Because if we can see there are so many children who are afraid to someone who has given them punishment, and there are even children who become pembangkang because they are get the punishment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Desi, for the question. So our group also give our group to discuss the question.
Okay, Juwita, you can choose the breakout room to discuss with your group in breakout room, and the first group was join again in main room. Vida. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Juwita. Okay,
yes.
You can go to a room for discussion.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Vida, you are ready with your answer?
Yes, Mr.
Okay, yeah, silakan.
Thank you for your time that given to us. We will answer the question from Era and Desa. For the first question is, came from Era Damayanti. The question is, when there's a child who doesn't want to do something if they are not given a reward, in other words, they are addicted to reward. How to solve this problem? Well, this question will be answered by Gina. Gina, time is yours.
Okay, thanks for the time that given to me. I will answer the ERA question. If someone is addicted to being given a gift, then what we have to do is explain to the child. Giving reward.
Okay, maybe Gina
Child, if he does
connection. Okay. Gina?
Yes, sir. I will repeat the answer.
Repeat your answer, yeah. Okay.
Yes. My answer in ERA question is, if someone is addicted to being given a gift, then what we have to do is explain to the child. Giving rewards to children is not only through giving gifts, but can be done by giving praise and affection. So in this case, the parents should slowly reduce the rewarding of the child if he does something. When he is things, the parents can turn their attention to other things. Parents should not pamper them too much, and parents should always encourage them to do better. That's my answer. Vida will add my answer to make it more complete. To Vida, time is yours.
Gina, thank you for the time. I will add some opinion for your answer to make it complete. For the first is the concept, the requirements of the reward. The rewards is given to someone should not go, in giving rewards, we should not be frugal and not give the reward too often, because when it is too often of giving rewards, the rewards will not make to be a educational tool. And then do not give the rewards first or promise before the children finish some assignment, because this can make the children rush when doing assignment and will give difficulties for the parents in the future. And then the parent must pay attention when giving rewards, because the children should not have a misperception about the reward concept. So in this case, ERA's question, I think this is a misperception about the reward concept between the children and their parents, because we think if a child already addicted to the rewards, there is something wrong with their parents. Maybe their parents give the rewards too often, and maybe every single things that their children did, the parent will give reward. So this make the children addicted to the reward and doesn't want to do something if they are not given the reward. Jadi bisa saja ini merupakan misperception tentang reward concept antara anaknya dan juga orang tuanya. Karena menurut kami, jika seorang anak sudah sangat addicted to the reward, jadi bisa saja orang tua mereka terlalu sering memberikan hadiah, bahkan ketika anak mereka melakukan hal-hal kecil sekalipun mereka berikan hadiah. Jadi anak ini akan menjadi manja dan mereka akan selalu meminta hadiah untuk setiap hal yang mereka lakukan. So that's all for the answer of ERA question. Next, we will continue for the DESAK question. The question is...
Yeah, Vida, maybe before the next question, ERA, you can give the feedback about the answer.
Yeah.
Thank you for Vida and Gina. So it is a totally clear answer. Thank you for you guys' effort.
Okay. Yes, yeah, Vida, yes, ya, Vina, ya. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Silakan. Next question.
The next question is from Desa. The question is how do we give punishment if we already know the child has committed theft or lied, but the child does not want to admit it? So this question will be answered with Yuli. Yuli, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Vida. I will answer this question. Moral cultivation must be instilled from an early age. So here the role of parent is very important. The trick is to chat with children, make children friends, that don't corner them too much. This aim to make children want to be open about anything. In our opinion, this can be solved by approaching children. The first way to educate a child who likes to steal is to start teaching children about the concept of good and bad. Don't see the behavior of children who like to steal as negative thing, but take the lesson as a way to teach children about the concept of good and bad. The next way to educate children who like to steal is not to immediately scold children. If you find an item in your child's bag that should not belong to your child, and you suspect that children's child stole, just leave a natural comment. Jadi hukuman bagi anak yang suka mencuri tapi tidak mau mengakui itu mungkin lebih ke mendidik anak tersebut, seperti cara yang pertama itu mendidik anak yang suka mencuri itu dengan mulai mengajarkan anak tentang konsep baik dan buruk. Misalnya jangan melihatkan perilaku anak yang suka mencuri sebagai hal yang negatif, tetapi ambil hikmahnya sebagai salah satu cara untuk mengajarkan anak tentang konsep perbuatan baik dan buruk. Cara mendidik anak yang suka mencuri yang selanjutnya dengan tidak segera memarahi anak, tidak memarahi anak langsung gitu. Jika misalnya ketemu barang di tas anak, terus orang tuanya itu tahu kalau barangnya itu bukan milik anaknya, sebaiknya jangan dimarahi dulu, tapi berpikir positif dulu, siapa tahu itu memang memang milik anaknya, tapi orang tuanya tidak tahu. Misalnya tanya dulu ini milik siapa, terus dapat dari mana barang tersebut. That's all, Wida. Thank you.
Thank you, Yuli, for your answer. Jadi untuk menghindari hal tersebut atau untuk mendidik anak tersebut agar anak tidak berbohong atau melakukan perbuatan negatif, menurut kami itu lebih ke penanaman moral yang harus ditanamkan sejak dini. Ini dilakukan oleh orang tua, dan orang tua memiliki peran yang sangat penting. Caranya bisa dengan simple way, like sering-sering mengobrol dengan anak, kemudian menjadikan anak sebagai teman, tidak terlalu memojokkan anak atas kesalahan yang mereka perbuat, dan ini tentu saja bertujuan agar anak mau terbuka dan jujur mengenai hal apapun. Jadi menurut kami cara penyelesaiannya ini adalah dengan cara melakukan pendekatan terhadap anak. So that's all from group B. That's all from for the Desa question. Desa, it is clear.
Thanks for the answer. I think it's clear.
So, Mr. Labo and Ms. Nietzsche, the presentation of Group B is already done. Thank you guys all for your attention and for your participation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Wida. It's a good job for your team. Yeah, the answer is very clear and sangat jelas ya. Jadi mungkin saya menambahkan ya sebelum Bu Nietzsche masuk ya, karena ada tugas tambahan. Bukan tugas tambahan ya, tugas wajib yang harus dilakukan ya. Ya tadi sudah dijelaskan, Wida mungkin sudah menjelaskan di slide ya, bagaimana kita aturan role form tentang memberikan reward ya, sudah dijelaskan, sehingga tidak menjadi sebuah kecanduan bagi seorang anak ataupun peserta didik. Ada beberapa role yang tadi sudah dijelaskan juga, jadi tidak menjadikan itu sebagai suatu yang yang utama, tetapi menjadi opsional. Jadi memberikan reward itu ada opsional dalam kondisi tertentu. Nah, juga tidak dilakukan terlalu sering ya, nanti malah kecanduan ya, apalagi anak-anak ya. Nanti poin dari pembelajaran itu bukan pada kegiatannya, tetapi malah kepada reward, sehingga reward itu akan menjadi sebuah, dalam tanda kutip, upah dari sebuah pekerjaan yang harus dia lakukan. Nah, sehingga tidak persepsinya seperti itu. Dalam konteks pendidikan ya harus disepakati role dalam kegiatan itu. Ada aturan yang harus disepakati sehingga dia mendapatkan reward. Terkait tadi pertanyaannya Desa ya, kalau salah Desa ya, tentang memberikan punishment. Jadi mungkin nanti Miss Nice yang akan bisa mengeksplain lebih jauh tentang ini ya. Tapi sedikit mungkin saya jelaskan dalam membuat, terutama dalam anak-anak ya, dalam memberikan punishment. Jadi kita harus membedakan antara negatif reinforcement dengan punishment. Nah, yang ditekankan di sana adalah negatif reinforcement. Jadi tidak langsung memberikan hukuman atas kesalahan yang dia berikan, tetapi kita menekankan kepada hal negatif apa yang dia lakukan sehingga dia harus mendapatkan konsekuensi, behavior and consequence about the behavior. Jadi itu yang harus ditekankan, jelaskan. Oh, kamu ini dan ini kesalahannya ini tidak boleh lakukan ini. Jadi dia memahami kalau anak-anak misalkan lari-larian, kemudian jatuh, kita marahi. Dia nggak ngerti kenapa saya dimarahi, dia ini ya. Mungkin nanti asistennya Bu Nici di depan mungkin sebagai best practice-nya bisa menjelaskan kenapa apa yang dilakukan oleh mamanya. Jadi tidak karena jatuh dimarahin tidak, tapi kita jelaskan apa yang dia lakukan, behaviornya, kemudian akibatnya konsekuensinya apa yang dari kegiatan itu. Nah, sehingga dia memahami kesalahan saya apa, kenapa saya dimarahi misalkan, sehingga dia terjadi perubahan perilaku pada si anak tersebut. Seperti itu. Jadi itu penekanannya. Tidak misalkan anak tidak misalkan mengumpulkan PR, kemudian dia langsung dihukum di depan, berdiri di depan kelas gitu. Nah, mungkin dia juga akan malah menjadi trauma, kemudian takut, tapi diberikan penjelasan. Nah, dalam punishment tadi kan sudah dijelaskan ya, kalau nggak salah di LIDA juga dijelaskan bahwa ada punishment asosiatif, logis, dan normatif kan di sana ya. Kemudian kalau nggak salah asosiatif itu bagaimana nanti mengasosiasikan apa yang dia lakukan dengan kondisi selisihnya. Kamu ini maka ini dan seterusnya. Jadi mencari, karena kan kalau anak-anak masih pada ranah emosional konkret ya, jadi dia harus bicara fakta, tidak bicara logis ataupun normatif, belum paham di level itu, sehingga harus diberikan persamaan. Oh, ini seperti ini seperti ini, kalau kalian ini dan ini. Memberikan contoh, mungkin kakaknya benjol, kalau kamu lari nanti seperti kakak bisa benjol seterusnya. Jadi dia memahami do and do not, ya seperti itu. Mungkin Miss Nice bisa melengkapi.
Okay, I'm back ya.
I'm back in class.
I'm back in class because before my son just want to join and he thinks that he are the artist for this class, so he tried to sit down with me. Okay, regarding the reward and punishment, the first thing that we need to do is make a contract behavior. Ya, jadi buat kontrak dulu dengan siswanya atau dengan anaknya, gitu ya. Contract it's mean that the children or the student agree with the reward and the punishment. Ya, it's like for the example of my son. Yeah, he really like dinosaurs, especially T-Rex, yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I will make the contract related with the doing the toilet training. When he can taking a pee in the toilet, he will get the 1 point to get to buy some of the dinosaurs things or dinosaurs toy. So I will say to him to say that, okay, he come again. I will say to him
Direct
that,
is come.
yeah. Direct is come, direct. Yeah. Okay, you need to eat the candy outside. Bye. Yeah, audit T-Rex. Okay. Iya. Aks dadong buka dong gitu. Okay. So, if he can do the pee in the toilet, so he will get the point to buy some of the dinosaur's toy. And I will say to him, oh, Dave, when you pee, you need to say to me, and we go to toilet together. Yeah, if you can pee in the toilet, you will get the point to buy T-Rex maybe. But if you ngompol or just pee in the room, so he won't get the point and he will get the punishment. And the punishment not related with the physically punishment, but I can say that you can watch the YouTube regarding the T-Rex movie for this morning or for this day. So we need to take the privilege from them, not giving the physical punishment, but taking the privilege that he already get before. So that's why he will learn to try to say that I want to go to pee, so I will go to the toilet with him and he can pee in the toilet. That's the reward and punishment. First thing, we need to make the contract. The contract need to get the agreement from the client or from the student or from the children. Ya, jadi nggak semata-mata kita langsung menyiapkan reward dan punishment, tapi kita bikin kontrak dulu menyampaikan. Jadi kayak apa ya? Kayak kontrak melakukan pembelian sesuatu gitu ya. Jika A maka kamu B, jika C maka kamu D. Begitu. Jadi nggak semata-mata, sehingga akhirnya anak memang benar-benar wanting to get that reward very big gitu ya. Jadi mereka tuh termotivasi, memunculkan motivasi untuk mendapatkan reward karena rewardnya berkaitan dengan apa yang mereka sangat sukai. Jadi nggak ada itu reward yang jenisnya oke. Yang kecil datang lagi. Oke, nggak ada itu reward yang jenisnya barang yang tidak disukai atau benda yang nggak disukai, karena reward ini sangat berkaitan dengan how they can build their internal motivation to do that behavior. Yeah. Regarding the punishment too. So the punishment doesn't need to give like membentak, memarahi, but can take their privilege, can take their favorite toys or the favorite food. So he can get that directly, but need to do that behavior. Ya, jadi punishment itu bisa mengambil privilege atau apa yang mereka dapatkan selama ini gitu loh. Misalnya dalam satu hari bisa nonton Dino selama 2 kali ya sebelum tidur gitu. Jadi mereka nggak dapat privilege itu, sehingga mereka belajar untuk mendapatkan privilege itu, maka mereka harus melakukan perilaku yang mereka diharapkan, perilaku yang diharapkan oleh orang di sekitarnya. Gitu. Jadi sehingga akhirnya nggak ada itu reward yang percuma. Begitu tambahan dari saya ya. Saya sudah mulai nggak fokus ini karena yang kecil-kecil mulai muncul 2 orang. Oke, thank you, Mr. Labe.
Ya, jadi ada term and condition ya, dan role di sana yang berlaku. Sehingga ya tadi sudah dijelaskan secara. Nah, halo ya. Kita lanjutkan ke grup kedua ya. Grup kedua, oke, saya close ini dulu. Oke, sambil menunggu grup kedua ya, di sana poin yang juga harus diperhatikan adalah karakter peserta didiknya. Itu juga harus, karakter seorang atau peserta didiknya, sehingga reward yang diberikan juga sesuai seperti rekan tadi ya. Karena reward itu berkaitan apa yang dia sukai. Nah, nggak lucu juga ya, misalkan kalau misalkan anak-anak SD kita kasih reward diskon Alfamart misalkan, kan dia juga belum ngerti ya, atau diskon apa ya, salon mungkin ya, itu kan nggak ini. Nah, jadi sesuai dengan karakter. Oke, kita tunggu grup kedua bergabung kembali.
Excuse me, sir.
Ya, semua. Jui. Juwita masih di grup sendirian ya. Oke.
Juwita ada suatu hal, sir.
Oke, ya.
So, and here I will replace Juwita as a moderator.
Yes, ya, oke. Dimas.
Okay, thank you for the time.
Dimas, ready with your answer?
Yes.
Yes, oke. Silakan.
For the first questions is
Maharani
the
ya.
questions will be answered by my friend, sir, by Nanda.
Okay, here I will answer all of the question. Can I speak in bahasa?
Iya, silakan.
Dalam mendidik, mengajar, membimbing, sehingga mengevaluasi siswa, maka guru diberikan kebebasan akademik untuk melakukan metode-metode yang ada. Selain itu, guru juga tidak hanya berwenang memberikan penghargaan terhadap siswanya, tetapi juga memberikan punishment kepada siswanya. Tetapi, menurut saya, jika ada siswa yang melanggar dan memanjangkan rambutnya, pihak sekolah sebaiknya tidak langsung mencukur rambut siswanya, tetapi memberikan teguran terlebih dahulu. Dan jika teguran tersebut tidak dihiraukan, maka pihak sekolah bisa memberikan surat peringatan dan bisa mengembalikannya kepada orang tua. Karena tadi saya sempat baca ada berita. Iya, Pak.
Suaranya hilang.
Tes.
Yeah, I can hear clearly.
Okay.
Saya ulang, Bu, apa?
Ya.
Lanjut.
Please continue. Okay, thank you.
Dalam mendidik, mengajar, membimbing, hingga mengevaluasi siswa, maka guru diberikan kebebasan akademik untuk melakukan metode-metode yang ada. Selain itu, guru juga tidak hanya berwenang memberikan penghargaan terhadap siswanya, tetapi juga memberikan punishment kepada siswanya. Tetapi, menurut saya, jika ada siswa yang melanggar dan memanjangkan rambutnya, pihak sekolah sebaiknya tidak langsung mencukur rambut siswanya, tetapi memberikan teguran terlebih dahulu. Dan jika teguran tersebut masih tidak dihiraukan, maka pihak sekolah bisa memberikan surat peringatan dan bisa mengembalikannya kepada orang tua. Karena tadi saya sempat baca bahwa ada guru yang dilaporkan oleh orang tua siswanya karena telah mencukur rambut anaknya compang-camping. Sekian jawaban saya. Terima kasih. Apakah bisa diterima, Lohdi?
Question for Maharani ya?
Iya, Pak.
Oke, Maharani ada di room ya?
Yes, sir.
Oke. Mana ya? Oke.
Sorry, I off cam because I get technical problem.
Okay. You buy ice cream maybe?
No.
Ya, silakan.
I'm sorry, Nanda. Maybe my question. Oh, sorry. Sorry. And continue. Maybe my question is different with your answer. I asked about the punishment of standing in front of the class, holding one ear while leaving one leg, effective or not. Jadi saya ingin bertanya, apakah sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Maaf loh deh, kayaknya ada masalah di kelompok saya soal yang lain dikirim.
Oh, saya nanya gimana atau tidak hukuman yang siswa diminta untuk diam di depan kelas dengan memegang kedua telinganya dan sambil mengangkat kakinya, apakah itu efektif atau tidak, dan terkadang hal itu dijadikan sebagai joke atau bahan tertawaan oleh sebagian siswa, jadi itu kebanyakan tidak menyelesaikan masalah.
Oke, sepertinya koneksinya Putri tidak stabil ya. Oke, mungkin kelompoknya Juwita sudah ini ya, jelas ya pertanyaan. Tes. Suara saya masuk ya? Oh.
Permisi Bapak, apa
Ya.
kita lanjutkan ke
Oke,
pertanyaan
lanjut ke
selanjutnya?
pertanyaan 2 dulu ya.
Baik, untuk pertanyaan kedua akan dijawab oleh Darmika. Darmika, the time is yours.
Oke, menurut pendapat dari kelompok kami, hukuman yang diberikan dapat berupa teguran. Dengan cara ini, anak tidak akan trauma dengan orang yang memberikan teguran. Teguran yang baik adalah dengan pelan-pelan dan jangan dibentak atau dimarahi. Karena siswa tipe seperti ini tidak akan berubah bila dimarahi. Kita harus berusaha memahami mereka. Bila saja mereka tidak memahami bahwa yang mereka perbuat itu salah atau benar. Mereka butuh didekati, diperhatikan, dan diajak diskusi. Serta berilah mereka motivasi agar bisa berubah menjadi lebih baik. Contohnya, katakan pada mereka seperti, saya yakin kamu bisa lebih baik dari kamu yang sekarang. Atau, saya akan merasa bangga bila kamu bisa lebih baik dari kamu yang sekarang. Apabila siswa tersebut berbuat nakal, janganlah diberi hukuman fisik seperti push up atau jalan jongkok. Karena hal ini justru akan menimbulkan rasa dendam dan jiwa melawan atau membangkang pada siswa. Bila siswa tersebut berbuat baik, maka pujilah dia. Pujian kita akan membuat dia merasa bahwa usahanya dihargai dan diperhatikan oleh orang lain. Sekian.
Baik, untuk pertanyaan dari Lode akan dijawab kembali oleh Juwita. Juwita, the time is yours.
Baik, jadi pertanyaan dari Lode, apakah hukuman berdiri di depan kelas dengan memegang telinga sambil mengangkat satu kaki itu efektif atau tidak? Menurut saya itu tidak efektif karena itu termasuk kekerasan. Jadi seorang guru bisa memberikan punishment yang lain yang lebih berguna kepada anak tersebut daripada menyuruh mereka di depan kelas sambil menjerit telinga. Itu akan membuat dia merasa dipermalukan di depan kelas dan akan menimbulkan rasa sama yang tadi dijelaskan oleh Darmike, menimbulkan rasa dendam dan tidak senang mengikuti pelajaran itu lagi. Jadi menurut saya guru harus memberikan punishment seperti misalnya merangkum buku di perpustakaan atau memberikan dia tugas lebih seperti tugas pekerjaan rumah yang lebih. Dan juga anak tersebut disuruh untuk mengulang kembali materi yang telah diberikan oleh guru di depan kelas. Seperti itu menurut saya. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you, Juwita. Okay, I think that's all our presentation. Thank you for the time that you given to me, Miss and Mr. I will that's the presentation. If there is a wrong word, we apologize if there are mistake, and good afternoon. Thank you, sir, Miss.
Okay, thank you, Imas. And I think all what you was understand and clearly about the reward and punishment, yeah. Miss Nietzsche, maybe we can give question.
Okay. Okay, so regarding the punishment, I will clearly replay my my explanation before that. For the punishment, we doesn't need to give the punishment like a physical punishment for the children, yeah, because the physical punishment is related with the physical abuse too, like the question from the student here, participant here, regarding the giving the punishment in front of the class. Yeah, that's can be categorized as a abuse or bullying. Yeah, because some of the friend join to watch that student who get the punishment, and after that laughing in front of them. Yeah, in front of him. So for the punishment, please, when you are practice as a teacher in the PPL or PLP, you need to give the punishment not related with the physical punishment or like a verbal punishment, ya, like membentak, marah, berteriak dan lain sebagainya. You can use take the privilege from the student, like when the student doesn't fit the behavior in the class, they cannot go home directly maybe, but they need to make some of the tasks or work in the class, like cleaning the class or cleaning the toilet and another thing. Yeah, so we need to take the privilege or take the sum of the bonus from them, and after that they will learn about this situation or this behavior not fit with the class. Ya, jadi bisa mengambil privilege atau bisa memberikan tambahan tugas kepada mereka, ya, misalnya pulang lebih akhir dengan penambahan tugas berupa membersihkan kelas atau membersihkan toilet, atau misalnya dengan menulis, ya, menulis pernyataan bahwa saya meminta maaf sebanyak misalnya berapa ratus kata begitu. Itu bisa dipakai, ya, alih-alih menggunakan punishment berupa verbal punishment ataupun juga physical punishment gitu, ya. Jadi punishment itu tidak melulu fisik, tidak melulu marah-marah, tidak melulu teriak, ya, tapi bisa mengambil kesempatan mereka pulang duluan, lalu mengambil kesempatan mereka bisa santai-santai di rumah dengan menambahkan tugas atau memberikan tugas tambahan seperti itu, ya. Oke, that's all, Mr. Labo. Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. I think you are
Oke,
still
sorry.
mute.
Ya, thank you, Miss Nicio. Nah, itu nanti kalian bisa praktekkan di saat PL atau PLP2 sekarang namanya, ya, praktek mengajar. Jadi bagaimana memberikan reward and punishment. Nah, kalau sekarang punishment dalam bentuk fisik itu tidak diperbolehkan, ya, karena bisa hukum. Nah, kalau di era kami mungkin reward dalam bentuk fisik itu hal yang normal. Nah, karena di era itu masih kita memahami itu sebagai sebuah pendidikan. Nah, kalau sekarang kita misalkan dipukul pengaris tangannya karena nggak potong kuku, nah itu sudah bisa kena hukum kok sekarang. Jadi reward tidak punishment tidak dalam bentuk fisik, kemudian reward juga tidak mesti dalam bentuk benda begitu. Nanti kasihan kalau semuanya bentuk benda, tekor kalian PPL kasih hadiah setiap ke sekolah, beli hadiah untuk diberi menjadi reward. Bisa dalam bentuk verbal. Jadi psikis reward itu sangat bagus, ya, dalam bentuk suggestion word, kata-kata sugesti bagus, kamu akan bisa lebih bagus lagi jika kamu semangat, dan seterusnya. Itu akan lebih bermanfaat, akan lebih melekat dibandingkan hanya benda sekali makan hilang, sudah lenyap, besoknya sudah menjadi bentuk yang berbeda. Nah, kalau dalam bentuk sugesti, kata-kata itu akan terus terkenal. Oke. Saya pikir sudah jelas, ya, untuk perkuliahan kali ini. Cici, ada lagi? Tidak? Sudah, ya?
I think is enough. So maybe you can learn about the reward punishment from the Nanny 911. Yeah, you can try to find the video in the YouTube, and after that try to type the keyword Nanny, NANNY space 911, ya, 911. You can get many video regarding the how the nanny in the UK use the reward and punishment or behavior modification to change the behavior from the children who have a behavior problem in their house or in their institution. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Ya, silakan, ya, nanti silakan kunjungi, bisa belajar di sana, ya. Tapi jangan nyangkut di video yang lain-lain. Oke, terima kasih untuk hari ini. Thank you for today. We learn more about the reward and punishment. Mudah-mudahan ini menjadi bekal kalian untuk menyiapkan menjadi guru yang lebih baik maupun menjadi pribadi yang lebih baik. see you next meeting, the last meeting in ya pertemuan ke-15 ya. Oke.
So we are
Selamat.
near with the final exam ya, Mr. Labe.
Iya,
Okay.
it's the minggu-minggu kritikal ini, sangat kritis dengan waktu. Oke, mudah-mudahan kami bisa
Oke,
mengatur
oke.
sehingga bisa menyelesaikan sesuai dengan jadwal. Oke,
Ya.
thank you everyone. Sehat selalu.
Ya.
Sampai
Say
bertemu.
goodbye to all Aude.
Dah.
Bye. Mwah. Kiss bye. Mwah. Bye
Bye sama
bye.
kakak-kakak cantik di sini.
Kiss bye.
Ya,
Mwah.
sama kakak ganteng juga.
Kakak ganteng. Bye bye Om gitu ya.
No om, kakak.
Bye bye Kakak.
No kakak ya, oke. Ya, thank you
Oke.
semuanya.
Bye bye Peka dia bilangnya bukan Kakak.
Iya.
Oke, see you all.
Oke,
Thank
terima
you.
kasih.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Miss.
Thank you,
Ya.
Miss. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.